So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with,
Bobby and Nathan from Motherfolk.
and we're gonna ask them some questions today about their new EP, The Flower. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
Pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to like it.
Well, that's good.
It's good because I think it was. We made it during the pandemic that we still are in,
Yes.
and yeah, I keep on having to say that. But it could have been a lot. It could have been worse. I think the reception, just because it is so different from a lot of the other stuff we have. But so far, people seem to have taken a liking to it, so that's good.
Well, I think you guys also released it at the perfect time in the pandemic, where like you were able to play shows off it and everything. So that's perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah, we held off intentionally. Well, one, to give us more time to just like keep working on the songs, but two, we didn't really want to put something out and not really be able to tour on it at all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
True. So, is there any meaning behind the EP name, The Flower, and the EP cover art?
Yeah, the name kind of comes from a lyric, one of Bobby's songs, "Sunlight." You want to take
Yeah,
that?
well, it just goes. It's just about a balance between a dynamic of a relationship. It says, "You are the flower, I am the bee,"
Mhm.
and just kind of seemed to fit. Like you come up with the product, which is the album or the EP or the song, and then I think the number one hardest thing to do is name it. Like naming the song is difficult, but then naming an entire project like is super difficult in the sense. I mean, would you agree of like in the sense of like you want to sum it all up in a nice packaged way?
Yeah, I feel like luckily, and this time included, we've never really had to try to brainstorm too hard on the name of it. It kind of just pops up and feels right, and that's what
Mhm.
happened with this one. Calling it The Flower kind of felt like it put a good bow on the whole project. And then as far as the cover art, I feel like a lot of people do flower and florally stuff, so we wanted to do something that's different than that, but still kind of conveys the same meaning. So bees like flowers, and so we decided to go with bees.
Cover up
Perfect.
a list of these, and then we got our cover.
Love
Perfect.
it. So can you tell us a little about your writing process for this E EP?
Yeah, this EP was a little bit different. Since we are in the pandemic, we're in my home studio right now, which is in my basement, and Nate has his own studio at home as well. And we kind of wrote a little bit together, but a lot of it was separate from each other, and then kind of putting the pieces together of the song afterwards. Definitely a different process, but one that was kind of nice because for the first time we're self-producing, and kind of that solitude I think lent us the time to become stronger songwriters and just producers overall. And then the really helpful thing is that we're not alone.
Mhm.
No one's alone,
Mhm.
but me and Nate can always bring at least a 90% finished song to each other and kind of fill in the gaps. So that's kind of what it was this time around for sure.
Okay.
Perfect.
Do you guys think that you like adjusted well to this like new way of working, like separate and everything, or was there a learning curve for you guys?
I think we adjusted pretty well to it. It wasn't too different from what we've done in the past, except for the like self-producing part. But I think we learned pretty fast. We've been in a lot of studios over the years, so like it wasn't too hard to pick it up on our own and figure out, how to record things and how to mix things. Um,
Oh, more importantly too, or as importantly maybe, is like we got to figure out how we specifically like doing those things.
Yeah.
So, whenever you add another brain in or another mind in the studio, the end result is going to change. And sometimes that change is really, really good. I wouldn't have wanted to do what we did, for this EP when we first started out, because that probably would have been a train wreck. But after having so much time and so many years and 3 other albums under our belt, I feel like it was probably the perfect time to try to do something like this. And honestly, I don't see the process changing a whole ton for the future, just because of how happy we are with this project. So yeah.
All right, very cool.
Perfect. All right. So I want you two to tell us your favorite lyric off this EP and the meaning behind it.
Oh gosh, you go first.
Okay, I have to think for 1 second.
One.
One of my favorite lyrics is from just the intro track, "We Make Our Pictures Speak." And it's that line, "What can I do to make this picture speak?" I talked about it before, but that whole song kind of came up out of these letters I was reading between Vincent van Gogh to his brother
And yourself.
and me. No, I stumbled upon just I don't know how I went down the rabbit hole, but was reading up on Vincent van Gogh's correspondence with his brother in the year up to before he died. And there was one letter that said I don't know how, I'm paraphrasing, but essentially I don't know how to put into words what I'm feeling, but all I can do is make my pictures speak. And just from an artistic standpoint, that struck me a lot, because I feel like that's what we try to do with songwriting, is you're trying to put into a song things you can't actually say or explain. So that lyric and that whole song kind of was born out of that moment. So that's my pick.
Okay.
Yeah, mine kind of piggybacks off of that. There's a song called "Contact," and I think in the first pre-chorus it says, "Words would start on my tongue, never. Words would start in my lungs, never finding my tongue." And it kind of conveys the same thing. I think the thing that we have in common is that we don't always articulate our feelings or emotions or I don't know, just intimacy into everyday life, whether that's communicating verbally or just through our actions. Or I guess I can only really speak for myself, but that whole song just kind of, to me, encompasses the idea that, what happens when you're out of time or to convey how you feel and the words still aren't there. And yeah, so like Nate said, putting that into the art or the music feels helpless sometimes, but that's all you can really do.
For sure. I appreciate the explanations. Usually we just get, "This is my favorite lyric," and fuck you, that's why.
Yeah.
So
We like ourselves, so
I appreciate it. So where was your headspace at while you guys are writing this?
Well, it was during lockdown, so the same headspace as every person in the world, probably. Just super bored.
Yeah. At first it was really exciting because we had something to work on. And I feel like there was a spectrum of some days, just like anything, some days you really can throw yourself into your work. And then other days it feels a little bit like a chore. But like I said, if one of us were the sole writer or something like that in the band, I'm sure the process would have been a lot lonelier. But yeah, definitely went through some bad times and then found our way through it. I think that's what's helpful is once the project is done, you can kind of release it, and I mean, physically, literally release it into the world, but hopefully it's not your problem anymore. It's the audience's problem.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Right. So, how do you recommend your listeners to listen to this EP for the first time? Should they play it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Should they blast it at a party? What do you guys personally recommend?
I feel like with headphones on is probably the best way to experience most music. So that I do think we've done a good job of keeping things upbeat enough to where it can still be played in the car with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. However people want to is fine with me as long as they listen to it. Hit
Yeah.
clips.
All right.
Hit clips. I don't know if they know what that is.
So this question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less. Both of you have to do it.
Oh, God.
Let me think for a minute. 3 words.
Only 3.
Let's see here. Hold on. Maybe like secular.
Secular?
Secular.
Oh,
Okay. Strong start.
No, hold on. Secular.
Why is secular one of
Can you use that in a sentence?
You didn't even let me finish it. Now I'm self-conscious.
Oh, no. Keep going. Keep going.
No, I totally lost it because we don't have a yes-ander in the room. We have a no and stop. What's the question again?
3 words.
Describe it. Yeah.
In 3 words. Does it have to be a sentence, or they all have to be?
No.
They don't have to connect in
It's
any
up
way.
to you.
Oh, cool. Fun, riveting, compelling.
There you go.
All right.
What I'm gonna do.
All
Secular is the 4th word.
Bonus.
Delectable. Cunning.
Okay.
Cutting edge. But cutting edge has got a hyphen. So it's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Very good job. So, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want this EP to invoke in your listeners?
Yeah, like just like real delectable cutting edge.
Succular,
my
secular, whatever the
God.
fuck.
Yeah, like very secular
Yeah,
emotions.
like leave whatever
Mhm.
relationship you have at the time.
No, I think so for sure. Like it was definitely I feel like there's very dark subject matter and the kind of the EP is kind of the process of coming out of the other side of that. So I guess those are probably the emotions that it should invoke. Whether it does or not.
Mhm.
Yeah, take you on a journey of maybe some self-reflection. But at its best or worst, it's just music. So hopefully you have a good time when you listen to it.
There we go.
Yeah.
So picture this: you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Oh, interesting.
Okay. It depends what part of the country we're in.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Are we talking about we're going to a Sheetz? Because Sheetz has all of the options. I might get a burger.
Or are we in the South? Can I get boiled peanuts?
Where on the East Coast, you're going to a Wawa.
Wawa.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get a hot dog. Wawa hot dogs are okay. QT has the best hot dogs on the East Coast.
What is it with you and the gas station hot dog? Why do you trust it?
Why do I trust it? Why does every trucker in America trust it?
I mean, yeah.
It's the
You can basically judge on the color of the hot dog whether or not you should consume it. If it's a nice brown, then go for it. But if it's green and pale, then skip it.
In all honesty, it's like it's the one thing most gas stations have that's hot, because you stop at a lot of gas stations, but you can't just have chips and cookies all the time.
Yeah.
You have to have sustenance.
When you want something hot and it's after a show and every restaurant is closed, you got to go for that gas station glizzy.
Because don't get
put some relish on it, put some dried onions on it, a little bit of mustard.
You're going to want to stay away from fresh produce because you're at a gas station,
Okay.
for sure.
That's where we draw the line then. Is it the fresh produce?
Yeah,
well,
it's
not
just-
necessarily. Sometimes I'll put the fresh relish on
Yeah.
relish on it
yeah.
if the bottle's out. All right.
I'm gonna totally let you take that question. Although I will say, I'm very partial to Speedway's pizza. I think Speedway's pizza is actually really good.
Speedway pizza is better than Little Caesars pizza.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Maybe on the same tier as Pizza Hut.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean, the integrity of it is a little better.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Got some hot takes today.
yeah. I'd like to know your ranking of pizza now.
I'm glad that you've asked us this question now because I'm ready to just talk. Don't even start it on the roller grill items.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a nice what are those called? Tornadoes?
Yeah, tornado.
Tornadoes are great. And here's the thing you'll love tornadoes, Shane, because you can't see the meat inside of it like you can see the hot dog. The hot dog's a little too personal and close and intimate for me. Seeing it is just a little bit, it's just laid out, on that bun. But when everything's tucked away and I can't see it,
I don't know if it'll kill you or not. That's the
a
fun
little
in it.
surprise.
Yeah.
It'll definitely kill you, but I mean, so will everything.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
gravity is killing me right now.
Oh, there you go.
Sunlight can kill you. Too much of it.
Okay, perfect. So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be?
Some sort of jambalaya or gumbo, maybe. I feel like we got a lot of different pieces at work.
Yeah,
but maybe that's too many.
Any good dish is a variety of pieces.
For sure. Well, I mean, if I could liken us to a hot dog.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna.
What kind of hot dog?
Well, it's a QT.
Of course.
The dog itself is the jalapeno cheddar one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we got a bun, and then we've got some toppings, and I feel like
little potato chips on top.
Yeah. But who's?
I like those.
Well, you can be the little potato chips on top.
Yeah, just crumbled up. Little maybe barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ethan would be the onion on top.
Yeah.
Because it's
kind of like
it's like you can't live without it. The crunch. Oh wait, you can. Potato chips. Never mind. Ethan's out.
God.
You don't need onions.
Yeah. I feel like we really just need the hot dog and the bun.
And chips.
At the end of the day.
Does that answer your question?
That answers the question.
Kind of, yeah.
We're either gumbo or what about hot dog gumbo?
Gumbo with little hot dog slices in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And buns in there too.
Yeah.
And chips.
I think we're going to have to cut this interview off here. This email is going to be really awkward when I have to explain to Haley why we cut this one off right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't stop talking about hot
dogs. So where do you see the band in the next 5 years?
Oh gosh.
Man.
Hopefully not eating as so many QTs.
Yeah. Hope so.
Or eating them more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope that we're still going and that we're doing it on a bigger level. That's always the goal. We never really think 5 years ahead. You think like 1 year at most. And it's like, I want to be doing bigger things next year than this year. And luckily that's been the case every year so far. So if that continues to happen in 5 years, we should be playing the Super Bowl.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There we go.
In 5 years.
All right.
Cool.
And you can have like
2026.
and can like along with the cheerleaders, you can have dancing gas station hot dogs out like on the field doing choreography during your set.
Yeah, our whole thing isn't hot dogs. Like
Well, it seems like it is.
You asked us about food, so we answered about food. How many hot dogs have you had today?
I haven't had any.
You haven't had any hot dogs?
No.
That's why you're in such a bad mood. I'm kidding.
Listen, I'm just saying, you could make hot dogs part of your brand.
You can.
Okay. I mean, I'm open to it at this
There
point.
we go.
We'll see 5 years.
All right.
5 years. Anything.
So for these last couple questions, we're going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
Awesome. So we're actually going to go straight to death row.
Away from music a lot.
Boom.
What? So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Death Row Records.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay, it would be a hot dog. And
Oh God.
but hold on, looking for the toppings.
Okay. All right, I'll hear you out.
Not just any hot dog.
All right.
In Cincinnati, we have. Where are you all from?
New Jersey.
Virginia.
What'd you say, Shane?
New Jersey.
New Jersey and Virginia. That's You're gonna have to tell me how you guys met. And
Okay.
We'll tell you at the end, yeah.
We live in Cincinnati, and there's a place called Skyline Chili here, and their whole thing is they serve these little hot dogs, little coney-sized hot dogs with chili on top and cheese.
Mhm.
You can have mustard and onions if you're weird. I stick with the chili and cheese. So my last meal on death row would probably be 10 Skyline cones
Oh,
with habanero. It's my last meal.
That's true.
you got a point.
Yeah, with the habanero cheese. They do a special habanero cheese. That's great. So yeah, that'd be it for me.
How you washing that down?
A big jug of Mountain Dew. No
There you
ice.
go.
I like this.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. If I'm taking the question very seriously, I
Mhm.
would be like very upset that I was dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the fact that like I had done something so bad that it would call for capital.
That's true. What are we in for?
Yeah, like like a huge meal would be terrible, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because who would want to die when you're like, oh, I'm so full? You know?
Yeah,
Very soon, you're not going to feel it. You know?
exactly.
How do they die? How do they kill people these days?
I think it's lethal injection,
Oh.
but it's like 5 different shots, so it's like it's not gonna be like instant. So
Yeah. What happened to the
I
good
got
old
my
days when
booster
you
back,
just
so.
you just zapped them?
you just tap them.
You know?
I don't think that was
Mhm.
ethical.
Yeah,
It's the whole
Is
thing.
the whole thing ethical?
Well, it's not ethical, but they say that this is the most
Murder
ethical
ethical.
version of this unethical thing.
Yeah.
Death by hot dog.
Yeah, can you substitute it for overeating until you die?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, lettuce wraps. Lettuce wrap with carnitas meat in it.
Ooh.
I like it very lean so that it takes a long time to die.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to die fast. I just want as many lettuce wraps as you need until you die.
It's the way to go.
How are you going to wash that down?
Whiskey.
Perfect.
I would just like several large bottles of whiskey. And you know what? That's probably how I'd die.
Yeah.
Not the lettuce wraps.
No.
But we'd have to figure that out.
All right. So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Oh, this one.
Middle Earth.
Yeah, Middle Earth.
All right.
Both of you.
Yeah, we're big Tolkien fans. I would like to live somewhere in between 2 universes, though. I would like to live in the Star Wars universe and the Lord of the Rings universe, because I would like all of.
I like to think that Middle Earth is just like a planet in the Star Wars solar
It's
system,
Oh.
right? Like,
Yeah, it's
like you
so
could just
close.
land a ship.
Or maybe
in
it
the
happened
Shire.
a little after Star Wars, because Star Wars happened a long time ago in a galaxy far,
Far,
far
far
away.
away.
So maybe it's the
Mhm.
same galaxy, but it just so happened to be in like a primitive time
Yeah.
after all of Star Wars.
Where do you think geographically you would set up shop in Middle Earth?
That's a better question than their question.
I'm doing their job.
I mean, honestly, I'd love to live in Minas Tirith,
Yeah.
but
City life.
I know that I can't afford that, so I'd
Yeah.
probably
Oh.
be, I'd probably just try to join the Rohirrim, be a Rohan citizen.
Yeah.
Probably live on the outskirts.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be nobility or anything. I'll just be eating hot dogs out in Rohan South.
Riding horses, eating glizzies.
And you
Look
were
at us.
trying to tell me hot dogs ain't part of your brand. Come on.
Well, maybe they are now.
Exactly.
We were trying to be a serious band until you came along.
My bad.
So I actually have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has said that it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Hot dogs.
It's like that kind of weird pink then.
My favorite color
Kind of weird.
definitely changes. Right now, I've been really into, what have I been into? I've been really into like gold, like dark yellow.
Ooh.
That's mine.
Yeah, mine is orange, but like a lighter orange, like an orange that reminds me of dreamsicles. Because I like the taste of dreamsicles. I think they're like one of the best tasting things on the planet. So maybe I'd like to have that with my last meal as a dreamsicle.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh.
For dessert.
For just, of course.
It's like a cold hot dog.
It's just like a cold hot dog.
Just a dog.
So as Glory said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys like to plug?
Our new EP, The Flower, is out now. You can stream it everywhere. We're going on tour January through March. You can see those dates at motherfolk.com. That's it.
That's it, baby.
Well, thank you for now. This guy's been Motherfolk, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.